and welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. I have got the one and only Paige Rien with me, which until about 3 seconds ago, I thought her name was Paige Rien. So, and I also thought, here's what's so great, Paige. I was going to introduce you as the only women's basketball player that I know, because I equate you to female sports. Because when I started following, I know, look at your face. You're like, none of that applies to me. When I started following you on Instagram, you were doing a lot of things with basketballs and like showing like your trophies. So I was like, oh, she's a famous WNBA player.
No.
And so in my mind, you're Cheryl Swoops. Oh, is that okay with you?
I'll take it. The best thing I've been called all day. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
Everyone, Cheryl Swoops. Okay. You look great. You look great, Paige.
I still got it. What can I say? I still got it.
Yeah, I don't even know if you remember what I'm talking about.
Oh, I
when
do.
You were like really. Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
So I don't even want the people to know what it is that you are famous for. I'd like to put a pin in that.
That's fine.
I'd like to talk about, we'll get to that later, Paige. Jeez. I'd like to focus on your pretend basketball career that I am determined that you have.
Look, I don't know.
Did you play basketball?
Yeah. First of all, I'm 6'1" and I'm a size 13 foot. If I didn't play basketball, I'd have some real problems. Okay. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah. See if I can.
That's amazing. Okay, so where did you play basketball?
I played.
Yes. For everyone watching and who has a foot fetish, listen, Paige, it's not that late.
Adam, very flexible, more and more flexible as the day goes on. Which is good. No,
this is a great show already. This is a great show already.
No, I got.
Let's call this a day.
A lot more body tricks, but the basketball thing. In my generation, when you were 10 or 11 or 12 and you were giant and like the gym teacher was like, you get on the basketball team. I don't think you're going to make it in life if you don't put that body somewhere.
Right.
Now, when you're like,
you're
like 5, you end up doing like tryout teams and all kind of that stuff. But anyway, back in my day,
travel teams.
Back in my day, it was real simple. I was 12 years old. The gym teacher, Mrs. Wadlinger, I'll never forget, Mrs. Wadlinger. She was like, listen, you need to go out for the basketball team. This is it. It's happened. And I ended up in 6th grade getting cut from the team. I think I was 5'11". It was like very humiliating because I was like here and the other girls were like down here. But the woman was like, listen, she doesn't know how to play. So I went home and I taught myself. I went to basketball camps, came back, and it became a passion for many, many years. I ended up playing basketball in college. I got trophy. I had a high school career, which was wonderful. I found a place for all the limbs and the big feet and the inks, because basketball is a great, like, intense person's sport. And it was great. Yeah. And now the best part
Where did you play?
I played at Brown University.
Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of it. Yeah. It's a little dinky public school.
Very conservative. Actually, I took a picture of myself in a JP2 We Love You t-shirt, and my dad was there and he was wearing a brown sweatshirt. I'm like, I gotta take a picture of this, because I don't know if there's a lot of that happening at the same time. Not so much. You know what I mean?
Right. Not anymore.
Maybe not ever. But
maybe not ever.
The coolest thing is I have a group of teammates that I still love and hang out with, and I'm the smallest one. So that's the coolest thing.
Are you really?
Well, they may. I'm on the smaller side of the group. Let's put it that way.
Man, that's some tall friends.
Yes.
I love it. So why? Okay, so let's be honest. Why didn't you go into it professionally?
Oh, I wasn't good enough.
Was that a dream?
Oh, no, I wasn't good enough.
Oh,
no.
you weren't.
And truthfully, when I got to college, I saw lots of cute boys and lots of bars with my name on it. And basketball, college sports is incredibly intense. It's like a full-time job. Yeah. And that is a very long story, but I made a departure from my athletic career thinking that boozing up with Euro boys, princes from Oman and wherever they were from would be fun. And so I left my athletic career to pursue drinking. And
and everyone's like, this is a great show. This is going to be a drinking game. This interview right here is so fantastic. But here's the thing. I love that you went from basketball to obviously being on HGTV.
right. But this is another timing thing where, thank God, I was born in 1975. So I was like at 12, I could still play basketball because, again, youth sports has changed so much. And thank God I was somebody that my husband and I were really into renovation, and we were doing flips when nobody was doing it. Like nobody.
Way before Joanna Gaines.
My God,
You don't even say her
I didn't
name.
even know. She was like, didn't get a
We don't
period
even
yet.
say her
Okay,
name.
like,
She was a zygote.
come on, Joanne, not even talk to me about her. Shiplap was no. But we were doing that, and then I was also trying to be the next Meryl Streep in New York City. Like I wanted to do dramatic roles and cry on camera, which if we want, I could make that. But I was really
wait a second. Wait, whoa. So wait, I didn't even ask you. What did you get your degree in at Brown? Were you in
they don't
theater?
really give degrees out. They just they give
like just tell people you went to Brown.
I majored in urban
What's your degree
studies. I
in,
majored
Brown?
in urban studies because I wimped out on architecture. We want the full story. We want this to go that dark into the majoring and
This is
drinking and then
fantastic.
being too afraid to become an architect. But I'm always fascinated about design, homes, buildings, city planning, all that stuff. Kind of mess around in business. And again, this is all, I've been in recovery for 25 years, so we don't have to go dark, but let's say there was a big shift, but where I was going was down fast. But anyway, I got into recovery. I cleaned my life up a bit. And I actually in recovery found out that I love performing. I love characters. I love talking. I love talking. And so I thought, acting really was calling my name. They weren't looking for a 6'1" Meryl Streep for anything. Shocking, I know.
I was gonna say I haven't seen that yet, so maybe now's the time.
I missed my window. I don't know. I missed my window of
I
the
think it's still
overgrown
there.
ingenue that was cried a lot. I missed her.
Listen, you're on this show, so
I think I made it, Mom. This is it. I made it.
Here's your moment.
I don't need anything else.
I'm so happy for
It's
you.
so much better.
Congratulations.
Actually better than
That is so funny. Okay, so you're in New York. You're trying to be Meryl Streep, and then you fall into HGTV.
Well, then the roles I was getting were like super weird, like thrice off Broadway stuff, or I was getting like the telecom like cherry picker worker, like the stuff that was like I was way far away from the camera in the commercial, or I was like the mom of the basketball player, like tall mom stuff,
Right.
or like women who
mom.
need strength in their job, like roles and anyways, weird stuff. And my agent was like, "This is not really working out. What about the home shows? We got some home shows. I see that when you come into my office, you're covered in drywall dust," which I was, because my husband and I were always like redoing a house that nobody else wanted. And I literally always like literally living in construction sites. We lived in construction sites. And he would say, "What's up with this? You're always like working, like what's your husband's, you're renovating something. What is it? It wasn't what it was today." Okay. It was like a novel hobby. And so he's like, so I started interviewing or auditioning for those kinds of shows, like those. And there were just a few.
You're telling me these are actors that are on our HGTVs? Is that what you're telling me, Paige?
Wow.
Are you ruining reality television?
I will say yes. Okay. Especially in the beginning, like they were not going to put a designer or architect on television unless they had a
like
lot
Ty Pendleton. Like, what are we talking about? I need to know. Now he's delicious.
He's beautiful. I say I don't watch HGTV anymore, so I can't always. But I will say that they do.
I only know the old school.
They wanted people with television experience. I also had a stint on QVC because somehow when you're on the way to Meryl Streep, QVC makes so much sense, right? Like,
if you tell me you're now on Shark Tank with Lori, that's the only QVC thing I know.
Oh, that would have been good. No, I was like selling makeup on QVC because I could talk nonstop, and that's like pretty much the only qualification to be on QVC.
So QVC got you onto HGTV, and you were on, which show were you on?
So the show is Hidden Potential. So and again, this is I walked in and I'm like, we're doing this work. I can talk. QVC. They're like, "You're a little big, but we'll take you." Like they're a little, like, we don't know how we're gonna do it with the camera, like because I'm tall for TV, and I'm not being self-deprecating. Like if you go to a television, people are tiny. People are like this big, And so even like my co-star or like who's my friend Brendan Millay is tiny, and then the other designer on the show, Barry Woods, who by the way is also a model and an architect, he's also very small. Like I look like his very large sister. Like we look.
From the old land,
the cousin,
from the old country,
that's Swedish. I don't know what. So, anyway, long story short, I got lots of interesting letters about that season of my life, but that was it. I mean, and I loved it, and I loved talking and connecting with real people. So most of the people were real, and I think so that come and want something, want their house redone, want to look for a new house, want ideas, need help. I love that. That was really, really fun.
And so now, but here's what's so fascinating about the whole thing is that really and truly you are thought of, and because now you're into, you have a couple of books, I don't know if you know this, and they're all about, I mean, you're the home design gal. Like I watch you on Instagram and I'm like, oh, look at all the glasses that she's getting and what is she doing? And then like I think I sent you my house when I bought my house because it's a
Oh
mid-century
my
modern.
gosh, I know your house.
Oh my gosh.
That's
And I don't
incredible.
know what to do with it. I need you to live next door to me. First of all, you need to be on the show every day. And then second, could you imagine? I don't know if Jesus loves the world that
Lord,
much.
if it be your will, I'm just saying.
Like this is too much Catholicism spirit. Exactly. It's a lot. And just you can help me make this house into the Madman house it's supposed to be.
Gosh.
But you I know,
so
I know
great.
you'd love
Oh
it.
my
You need to come
gosh.
visit. I'm not kidding. You're invited anytime. But now this
love
is
it.
your space. I mean, you are a designer. Like you are a home designer. Like it's just so cute. Like to hear your story of God's like, this is adorable. She thinks she's playing basketball. And then he's like, what is she doing? And now you have this entire career. You know what I mean? Like it, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, have you ever I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've had a cup of coffee looking at your beautiful green glass that you've bought and said, who knew I'd be here?
I mean, well, God is hilarious. I mean, the Lord is
He is funny.
so funny.
I mean, he made
I mean,
us,
look,
so.
like I was not looking for so many of the things that have plopped into my life. I mean, my gosh, it was just so funny. But I think even like being on HTV, there's so many pivots, and there was like, I hate to overuse that word, but a pivot away from even traditional interior design because it's kind of mean. And it's kind of snarky, and it's kind of rude, and it's kind of materialistic, and it's kind of bossy, and it's kind of like wants everyone to do the same thing. And so even that experience, although I love design and I'm going to like stay here. I mean, traditional interior design and I are even we're no longer friends. We no longer hang out. We don't even look at each other when we're in like Starbucks together. Me, designer, like go look at your whatever you're doing, lookbooks or whatever. I want to talk to real people and help real people with real budgets who, by the way, have real objectives for their home beyond posting it, to really be a living, breathing entity that supports your family. I mean, you can do that in fabulous ways, but I think we've lost our way a little bit. Traditional interior design, the Joanna stuff, it's a lot of copycat. It's just not, a home is, that's not what it's supposed to be. So
yeah, everybody's house looks like the inside of a Target. It reminds me, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm sure
where's
you have
the
a lot of feelings
bullseye?
about that.
The bullseye's next, right?
Right. No, it's funny because I feel like it's difficult. I don't know how you feel. I feel like you and I are similar in that we're not the traditional Catholic homemaker kind of a thing. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess. I'm not a Martha at all.
No. I'm a convert. I was like a pagan with an attitude up until like 5 years ago. So
how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great.
Pro Catholicism. It's still we're going to stay with it.
The Lord is hilarious. The Lord has a sense of humor. I mean,
so you never saw this coming.
Never saw it coming.
You really were like a pagan, like for real? Like you were like atheist? What are we talking about?
Listen,
like how pagan we talking, Paige?
We're talking like baptized Greek Orthodox, but my parents are like, we're not gonna go again though. Like, so it's like we're gonna get you washed up, but then we're not. So it wasn't a part of my life growing up. And then I got into recovery sort of around the time that I decided majoring in drinking would be a good idea. Drinking, eating, and men would be like a great major. And then
they talk about that in the Bible.
Yeah, it is actually. Yes, yeah, there was.
There was popular subjects.
There was a demoniac was majored in drinking, eating, and men. His name was Paige. But no. But I at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm 12 steps of AA, and these programs are a big part of my life. And there is a big sort of new agey deep dive or an invitation to seek and to, again, I do believe I have a God-sized soul. And I know this isn't the show for me to share.
That's great.
But no, I mean, like,
this is perfect.
But no, like God-sized soul, like we're all trying to fill it with something. Some of us try to fill it a lot for many years with a lot of things, like all the things. And then there's others that are like, well, they realize I try to fill it with anything and everything that would fit. Wow, would fit. And from that, though, you end up being like, oh my gosh, nothing is going to fit it. But now, like, maybe I can like look up all the Louise Hay books and crystals and mantras. Maybe I can go to a Native American sweat lodge. Maybe I can do some beads. Like, you become like all in on anything not religious.
I need all the things.
Give it to me on. I was joking around. I watched this video about the Holy Spirit and even about speaking in tongues and like parts of Catholicism that people are like, that's a little weird. I'm like, if you think that's weird, you've never had a New Agey season. Like you've never had like...
You never had a summer in the New Age.
Really, you've never been to like a Native American sweat lodge and it shows. Like you've never like
it shows.
Come on.
You've never had a dream catcher.
You've never dream catcher. You've never like gone to one of those stores where all the things look like rosaries, but none of them are. Anyway, I think we're natural seekers. Some of us have a bigger hunger to seek, and then we want to seek the low hanging fruit. And for me, I'd been turned off from religion. Oddly, at Brown, I don't know how that happened. But I think a part of it was being a Brown. Part of it. Can't blame them completely. But then, I mean, the church just revealed itself in all these beautiful people who I expected to be like, you suck, you're a pagan, you don't have any faith, you don't have any religion, you're broken, you're horrible. And instead they were like, we like you just as you are. And we've prayed that more people like you would come up, because Katie, Kelly, and Catherine that have been here since birth, they're great, but we need you too. You know?
That's exactly right. Well, and here's the thing. And in the Bible, I feel bad. I feel like they get so excited about the sinners coming back and the converts and like the prodigal son. There's a lot of times you're sitting here like, well, maybe I should go and take my inheritance. So all of, heaven rejoices. And my husband's like, no, that's not at all what that...
Maybe I need to go out for a little. No, I know. I think it's funny because I think I have some friends who are Catholics, and they're like, "What is all this? Like, what?" Yeah, you have like a sense of it, but it's a newness, right? Last week first we last. It's thank cool. God, right? But no, it's a newness, and also as an adult coming upon all these things, and also having tried everything else, truly. I mean,
okay, so that's a great segue into this question of what had to quiet down in your life in order for you to hear God calling you to Catholicism specifically.
Oh my gosh. I think so. The word that just came into my head was the achievement train that had to quiet down. Now, the achievement train led me to binging my brains out on food, drinking myself to oblivion, and seeking any male who, especially the males that were mean. Any male's attention, like those, they
the toxic ones.
I love the mean ones. I married the nicest guy in the world, and I'm like, really? It's weird. It's just funny. But no, I mean the achievement train. So when I was growing up, I didn't hear about heaven, but I heard a lot about Princeton. I heard a lot about places where you could go if you work really hard and you're really good at a lot of things, and you, by the way, kick a few people to the side, then you can get this narrow way to an Ivy League life where you have everything and you have a lot of money, and hopefully you marry somebody who did the same thing, and then you all go into the sunset with all of your things and your achievements, and everybody's awed by it.
And diplomas.
And hopefully, if you have children, great, but if you can't get the things, get the things. And I think sobriety and abstinence, like these different programs, like they did quite a lot of that for me. And I realized, wow, I have been on that train, and because I wanted to be valid, I wanted to be loved, and I wanted everybody to think I was great because of all these things. And I think that it's very hollow, it's just a hollow pursuit.
It absolutely is. Well, welcome. Thank you. You should have gotten your welcome kit by now. I mean, you've been here.
Didn't come.
5 years.
Didn't come. A lot of rosaries, but didn't get the welcome kit.
The Catholic Church shows up with a blueberry pie, which that would be kind of nice.
It would be, actually. That should be a teaching. We should add that to the...
I might leave for a weekend just so I can come back and get a blueberry pie. Just kidding, everyone. Don't leave the church. Okay. It's not that late. I'm going to get canceled so easily.
What? No. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. Look, we got to energize. We need more baked goods. I don't know. We need more of a welcome wagon. Come on.
That's right. I love it. Paige, the books that you have written, one was just released November 2021, and we are in the spring of 2022. Listen, years are hard right now for me. I got to be honest. This has been like a 28-year pandemic. I don't know.
What day is it? No, for sure. 100%.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So to me, your book is brand new.
Me too. You and me both.
2021.
You and me both. I
have no idea. It's from what I could tell, because I'm not a scholar, I'm going to be really honest with you. But I've bought your books that I could find. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. You did not need my purchase. You're doing just fine on your own. But this one seems to be a little bit more spiritual than before. What kind of was the catalyst for that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I, as I said, I was on HGTV, and I liked the fact that I was talking to real people, but I didn't like how bitchy and snotty a lot of the business was, and we were going to dictate. So I wrote my first book really about encouraging people to listen to themselves. And, I think when you write a book, you write it for yourself in a way too. And I was hearing for myself to listen to myself while I was writing my first book. I was discerning conversion really. And I mean, it was a 2-decade like discernment, but anyway, that was a part of it.
And that's a real discernment.
It was
really discerned.
I discerned the heck out of it. It was discerned to a pulp.
Like drywall.
It really was. It was. But then, I really thought I still felt like my work was in this silo and my spiritual life. And for me, my recovery and conversion are very intertwined. It's like they can never. Somebody said to me at my church, "Can you talk about your conversion story?" I'm like, it's ugly and it's long. Like it's not like Mother Teresa touched my forehead.
How about it's
real.
Really real and human. How about that?
Yeah, it's real. And also you need some time. Like you're gonna need some time. People sit down. They may not look at me the same way, but I think it, I met this woman, Victoria Dursock, this wonderful author who's like, she's like a Christian book machine, to be quite honest. And she invited me to say, well, what about like combining this love of the home and the spiritual life? And isn't it crazy how there's a duality between the work God does on us and the work that we do on the home? And there really is this, we're being renovated by the Lord so long as we open our ears and eyes and hearts to him. And then we are hoping to renovate our homes. And I think the whole book is encouraging that and encouraging conversation between women about that.
Oh, I love that. That was your good, like, Miss America speech, and encouraging women for world peace.
Someone please talk to me, because I am a talker and I need conversation. That's what
I think this is fantastic. I'm like sitting here. I forgot we were on a show. I was like, hold on, I need to refill my coffee. I'm like, this is wonderful, Paige. I literally can't wait till this happens in real life, because I think I'm trying to act very cool and calm and not be like, yes.
It's happening. I'm seeing the mid-century house. I'm going to get myself to Texas.
Yes,
as soon as my children join me every second of the day, I'll be there.
I love it. No, this is so great. Listen, I want to play a game with you when I get back, and it's not quite a game. I think it'll be interesting whenever we get back to do something with you. Are you open to that? Will you stay right there?
I'm wide open.
All right, you guys, don't go anywhere. You are tuned into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison.